Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Margie. I'm Heoka. I'm empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I've been reflecting a lot. A lot of self-reflection. It's Cancer season, my riser signing season, so I'm taking a good look at myself and my behaviors and how I used to act and how I'm trying to be a better version of myself. When I was Mary's son, and I always followed astrology, but I didn't really dig deep until the last few years. And the cool part about it is we all have this stuff in us, we all have it, so we all act the same. We just don't all act the same at the same time, Like some people are happy, some people are, it's just we have all these full gamut, these full spectrum of emotions, and if you ain't in the same frequency of people, you ain't gonna feel the same at the same time. I'm not the same frequency as a lot of people. I get different ideas about things. And I've been a spirit for incarnation after incarnation after incarnation, and I have more recall about that, as time goes on. And then our spirits go into a great library and they check out a book. And that is your life. And you know the book, you read the book, you pick the book. And in this book, there's lessons that people are trying to learn. Karma you're trying to clean up. Dharma you're trying to clean up. And Santi Joitish, I listened to a conversation he had today, and I agree with him. He said it first. Maybe someone else said it before him, but I heard him say it first, and he's in Vedic astrology, and in Vedic I'm Pisces sun and Scorpio moon, Gemini rising, and well, I'm full spectrum, and I'm more fluid in emotions and things like that, and all the ego stuff I'm not good at. So stuffing, I used to be, that's the thing, I used to be good. I used to block, I used to avoid, I used to talk trash. I don't want to do any of that stuff anymore. That stuff is harmful to me. It's harmful to other people, and we're just all connected. You ever walk into a room where people had just like gotten into an argument, and you could feel the tension. I can feel the tension. Or maybe people can feel the tension and then they ignore it. I can't ignore it. I've had too much stress in my life, and so I've always been withdrawn, and I've always sought answers and looked for, not a person solution, a source solution, a God solution, something that's outside of myself that I can plug into when I feel lost or scared or whatever, and Kashanti Joitish he was reading about the placements and stuff, and he's just like, look at the people that, and just go listen to this talk, and then he can explain it. But in the shell of a nut, I'll put it in the shell of a nut, and basically, it coincides. It just piggybacks on what I believe, my belief system, and that is, we all have positive, negative energy. Call it whatever you want, masculine, feminine. Call it whatever you want. It's duality. Not everybody's just all love and light and everybody's good. And there's this whole full spectrum of people, of shadow that people have, and they've just, either they don't want people to see it, they don't want to rectify it in themselves. For whatever reason, the reasons are personal. So they have aspects in them that they don't want to identify with, whether they're the masculine, feminine. I was always, people always said I was negative, and I just always tried to, and from my perception, I was always trying to look at things with a silver lining, and, because when bad situations happen, we all know that it's bad. But to find good in bad situations is, I've had to, because I've seen a lot of bad situations. So, my karmic lesson is led me to a path to get past anger. I'm very angry. I have a lot of anger. That anger vibe, but I don't like getting mad. I don't like getting mad. I don't think I used to, because I learned it from my mom that when she got mad, it would motivate her to help her get through hard life circumstances. But see, her spirit is fragmented and mine isn't. So what I would rather do is come to the realization of what it is that stirs me, you know. So what is why am I giving my peace away? So a lot of times people, you know, they follow their lifeline, and it's been contingent on how their parents lived generation after generation. You know, people, you know, you have all these paradigms, politics, military, all these that it's this ideology that people have thought the same way for generation after generation after generation, and all their thoughts are based on thoughts that other people told them that they need to think, and their spirit is waking up to the fact that we are all the same. This morning I woke up and I started listening when I want to calm. Sometimes I'll listen to the Matilda McElroy interview of the Roswell alien that they captured, and it gives me a higher perspective, you know, that there are forces of darkness, shadow, lower vibrational frequencies, whatever you think they are. You know what I'm talking about at this point. I don't gotta just find this stuff every single freaking time, that have better ideas about things, that, you know, if you take people's life force energy, then, you know, then that gives you sort of a power and a control, and there's never ever been you know, there's always been, if there's been a heaven on earth, it hasn't lasted because all the civilizations have been wiped out. You know, we have an opportunity to create a heaven on earth right now, and it's going to take a lot of work, but that work is on an individual basis. I ain't never not liked somebody because of the color of their skin. I don't even understand that thinking. But people sure are paying themselves a whole lot of money and raising a whole lot of money to for this ideology. And I'm like, don't people get it? Don't people get it? There's no left or right side. It's a circle of greed, and they're playing both sides. They're playing both sides just to make everybody, you know, because somebody's going to be for or against something. But I wonder how much that would be reduced if people just said, hey, we're all the same, you know? What if everybody made the same? What if there was one? What if money didn't exist? Or if everybody had the same wage, no matter what they did? Well, that wouldn't fly, because people couldn't inflate their egos. But when you step into balance between your heart and your spirit, your ego deflates, and what we're seeing is a whole world of ego deflation. And we're seeing it in all of these paradigms. All these paradigms. And hopefully I've done the work and my due diligence that when we step into Mars, going into Aries, that I'll embrace more, you know, the feminine in me from the Cancer energy I got. You know, and that can merge with the wounded warrior in me, with the masculine that I've had, because I have Chiron and Aries, the wounded warrior, you know, and they can and they combined, you know, creates that third energy of love, and then whatever I face in the world, I can meet with that. Whatever wrongs I've done, I can make right. That's the way I want to live. You know, scared people, like people that pick on people, you know, they always have to look over their shoulder, because they're going to wonder if the people are going to come back and get them, you know. And when you do things to other people, you got things to worry about, is the way I see it. I don't want to do things to other people anymore. I don't want to look over my shoulder. That's why I don't drink anymore, is because for me, I'm all in ego at all times, and that's dangerous. I mean, just Joy Tish, his talk, it was cool, because he's like, you know, he sees what I see, is that when the hate stops, the virus will subside. People are flaring up their energetic systems, and they're just mad at everything, all because they realize that they don't have the power in their lives that they thought that they had, that they don't have the control in their lives, or that their lives aren't set up the way that they planned. And my heart goes out to every single one of those people, because that is what I went through starting 3 years ago when I moved to Oregon and I couldn't get a job. I couldn't get a job at Rite Aid. I couldn't get a job at nowhere. And then I figured out, I'm like, well, I can't leave Mom anyway, so this is divine. It's how it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to figure out other ways of generating income while taking care of my mom. My brother wanted me to put her in a old folks home freaking 10 years ago. Just put her stuff out, or put her stuff out on the street and change the locks, And she was already adopted, and she already had a hard life, and I just don't have, I know. I made a promise a long time ago, and no. I thought family was everything, because that's what people always tell me, family's everything, and then they just watch. Okay. So I take care of my family and do the best I can, but I see this whole, I do see that. I do see how this is and the fear is flaring, because, now it's, temperatures are rising, and people are got to put stuff over their face and makes them all hot and sweaty, and then they get carbon dioxide poisoning from breathing your own toxic air, and because I don't know, I think people just like to hide. I think it's the hider that likes to wear them. They like to hide. They don't want people to see. Well, ain't this a far cry from all that facial recognition stuff, Maybe it's a reset. Maybe they're putting all that stuff up in the cities in place, and then okay, now everybody has to see, because you gotta, those guys have to make money. It's all about money. Everything's about money these days. Money, 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 money. On, Tut Dog. Snore Dog. So, I'm trying to just live just for today. Artie's over there having a dream. He's picking up on some energy too. It's okay, baby. It's okay. He's stressed. He gets stressed just like me, because he came into the world under very stressful situations. But let's just see. Let's just play that what if game, like I put it in the title. Let's just call it the what if game of what if people drop the hate rock. Because just ask yourself, when you meet something and they make you mad, ask yourself, why are you really mad at them? You gotta really go deep this time, because everything that we see in other people that we don't like about ourselves, and I know this because I have seen it for years. I just looked out at everybody for years and just was like, I don't like them, and they suck, and they're just gonna be a jerk to me. And I had all those same attitudes about people. And as much as I try to not tie an outcome onto any situation, I'm still a human. I'm still having my human experience, so I don't, I just want to try and rise above them for the health factor, for the pure factor of health. I don't always say the right thing. I say things sometimes because I've had people say things to me in such matter-of-fact ways that I just figured that everybody says what they want. Nobody cares about feelings. They don't care about feelings when mine are involved. So when theirs are involved, all of a sudden, but we all have the same stuff, and people are just going to trigger each other, and unless people yield or walk away or just really come to a place of understanding, I don't want to see all the violence that has the potential to happen in the next freaking month or so. I mean, they're already swinging wingers over freaking, Russia and America, all these military, tempers are flaring. That's what it is. That's because the energy is in them is their wounded warrior or whatever. They haven't healed themselves. They haven't rectified, junk that they've done in the past, and they still doing the same stuff, and then they feel bad about it, so they do behaviors to make them feel better, but the behaviors that they do to make their them feel better, just make them feel worse, and it's a vicious cycle. I'm still gonna just keep picturing heaven on earth. You know, where people can come and go as they please, and if they, you know, they want to. It's personal risk. You can't take care of everyone. You can't keep people from themselves. You just can't. And the people that are trying to keep people from themselves, they're the ones that really need to be looked at. That's psychology. That's psychology. If anybody at a lower economic demographic were to behave as some of these policy makers behave, they would be thrown in freaking loony bins, because their rational thinking just is completely out the window. It's just, they're just making stuff up at this point. And it's creating so much cognitive dissonance that people are shorting out. They really are. People are really gonna go crazy, because that's what happens when you have an idea of how things are, and then you find out that they're entirely different, man. Your whole world changes. Happens in a lot of ways for a lot of people at different ages and different times, you know? But it happens to everybody. Everybody figures out something at some point that, man, this ain't how I thought it was gonna be. So we got a world full of disappointment. We got a world full of disappointed people. And I see, you know, I thought it was pretty low vibrational when I heard a spiritual practitioner this morning talking about how she went to a grocery store and she could tell who's Democrat and Republican by who's wearing a mask or not. Well, that's pretty earthly, isn't it? Because I can tell who the fearful and the faithful are. I see that difference. I can't see political party. I mean, I went to the store the other day and I had a mask in my pocket. If they told me I had to put it on, nobody told me I had to put it on. Oh, hear that? Those are the helicopters, because I live really close to the National Guard, and they're all exercising and stroking their economies too. You know? It's just swinging. It's just their tempers are flaring. It's like either these guys are we're coming to a catalyst where these, and when I say guys, masculine energy, I'm talking about women, like the old, you know, that how I have been, where I just am in my ego and I just am mad and angry, and you know, my way is the highway, might is right, you know, all that stuff. You know, I used to be a little bulldozer, because if you ask hard enough and you try hard enough, then maybe eventually you get your way. But then people, I don't know. But I've learned to yield, because it's not my way. I am one of many in a collective consciousness where people are really scared right now, and I need to not add to be an antagonist or add to people's frustration and things like that. And one of the reasons why I do these videos is so that I can remind myself. Oh, it's supposed to be pretty warm today here. I have everything shut up. I got fans on, you know, and about 1 o'clock I'll turn on the AC window unit, you know, and then I'll run that for a couple hours, and because I don't like to tax the system, you know, and then everybody stays cool, and but it's a go within time, and I'm probably not going to do 2 videos a day. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess, you know what, I'm just not going to really say, because I guess we'll decide. I'm making changes in myself, you know. I'm doing practices and things different, and I'm looking for more clarity right now, and I think that a lot of like my over exuberance of doing videos for a while there was related to Gemini season, you know, the duality, you know, I was in more of a one kind of heart space in the morning and a different kind of heart space later on. So I was thinking about maybe making another channel just to start new, kind of a new timeline. I was gonna call it. Already got the name and stuff like that. You know, just because I'm not the same person that I was when I started, and I feel like this chapter's closed, you know, and I don't want to get rid of this channel because I think there's pertinent information and stuff in here, but I don't know if I really want to grow this one anymore, or if I want to grow something else. But these are, you know, that's the thing, is that's why astrology is so cool, is these are the time to plan but not make the decision. So I'm just planning, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. See, but I had the old programming stuck in my head, is that you do everything that you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to, I mean, it was accountability, it was drilled into me. I mean, it was drilled into me. I learned it, and then, you know, later when I hung out with my friends at Bill W., it was drilled into me more, you know, so that's why I really try to do what I say I'm going to do, because there's plenty of people in the world that just say things and they don't follow through with what they do. And I feel, and then I got to try and not take on the guilt that I get when I don't follow through, because I could just eat my own lunch all day long, just you know, just go into that negative self-talk and all that stuff, and then that just keeps me in that low vibrational frequency where I'm not trying to be. So anyway, I think that's about all I got for now. It's just definitely a time to take care, you know, just take care. You know, I'm really trying to embrace the loving motherly energy, and it's not, it's cool. I like it. It's not comfortable. It's going to take me some time to get used to. So what that happens is I got to get used to energy, and then I got to encompass that energy, and then I got to make my actions match that energy and take it out in the world. I don't get to be a Mad Marge anymore. I can't afford it. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. Where's that stop button?